It is 10 o'clock, so we're going to call this administrative meeting to order. I want to welcome everybody to a beautiful Thursday. I think we have a nice weekend in store. I've not heard anything different. I hope that will be the case. Two tropical systems back to back makes for a sloppy couple of weeks. So anyway, they will have a good weekend. I do have one announcement I would like to make before we get started, and that is that Farmers on Foster is having an event today on North Foster Street. I believe that's the 100 block of North Foster Street next to KBC. Apologize. And that event starts at 4 and will last till 7. I will not be able to be there myself. I'm traveling to Huntsville today, but Ms. Culpepper, you will be there today, correct? And we'll have some other distinguished guests there, so I'd encourage you to stop by if you have time. Any other announcements? All right. So we have 6 items currently under awards and presentations. Please don't let me forget, I've got another item I need to try to add if possible. The first one is a recognition by Brandy White for someone in the Houston County school system. So is there any objection to placing that on the agenda?
No objection.
Be nice to have them come visit. You know, they're doing a lot of good things. And Brandy, if you don't know, is nominated for Superintendent of the Year, and he has to interview for that pretty soon. So that could be real good. You know, certainly wish you the best of luck. Item number 2 is recognition, 3rd quarter anniversaries. Ms. Sherry Garner, any objection to placing that on the agenda?
No objection.
Item number 3 is also a recognition, Commander David Asbill, who just completed, I don't understand this, so correct me where I go wrong, but FBI Academy?
It's the National Academy of the FBI.
Okay, National Academy of FBI. So anyway, that's kind of a big deal. I saw that. So kudos and congratulations to him. Congratulations for the Sheriff's Department. The Sheriff are always continuing to invest in his staff. So that will be nice. Sheriff Valenza will be here to do that recognition. Any objection to placing that on the agenda?
No objection.
Item number 4 is a presentation by Sean Gibson, Southeast Alabama Emergency Medical Services. This is an item that is special to me because, as y'all know, my father passed away suddenly a little over a year ago due to a heart issue. And so the Southeast Health Foundation and Southeast Alabama EMS have kind of partnered on this program to teach a lot of people, a lot of different businesses, a lot of different people out in the community how to do CPR. And when I saw this, you know, they did, I think Dothan is the first heart-safe community, heart-safe town in the state of Alabama. I don't know if anybody else has been added to that list or not. But anyway, when they were doing that, I was thinking, you know what, I probably need to go get trained, because the last time I got trained in CPR was, I think I was in the 5th grade, I'm ashamed to say. So I went and got trained. Of course, now we have AED devices everywhere. I mean, I wouldn't know how to use them. They're not that difficult, but you know, if in the moment you're panicking, like I would probably panic, like, what do you do? I mean, it's nice to have some training. So Anyway, it takes about an hour. I went and got trained on CPR and on using the AED, and I feel confident that I can use both of those. And we're going to have Sean come and train our staff one day in the near future. But this is a presentation because they're trying to make Houston County heart safe county. And I think that's a tremendously good thing to do. And I'm proud of them and the Southeast Health Foundation for undertaking that project because that is a big lift. Anyway, they're going to come talk about that. So any objection or, any objection to placing that on the agenda?
No objection.
Item number 5 is an update on the Fiber Loop project. James Brandon will be here. As we all know, that project has kind of strung along. I don't know if that's a pun or not. But anyway, he's going to give us an update on Monday. So any objection to placing that on the agenda?
No objection.
And item number 6 under awards and presentations is a revenue department update by Revenue Commissioner Greg Holland. So he's we all know, is brand new revenue commissioner for Houston County. And I would hope that we would not prevent him from coming to give us an update. So any objection to placing that on the agenda?
No, sir.
And I'm going to ask if there is no objection to placing another item. It will be item number 7, a proclamation for Dress in Confidence, Free Your Anxiety Day. Taylor Ann Jones, she is a student at Troy Dothan, and she is starting this initiative, a nonprofit, and we're going to try to help her out and give her a little bit of publicity. But it is Dress in Confidence, Free Your Anxiety Day, Taylor Ann Jones. So any questions or any objection to placing that on the agenda?
No objection.
Okay. All right, moving on to the regular agenda, we have 9 items proposed. The first item is a request to appoint Jennifer Stevens to the Houston County Department of Human Resources Board. Any questions on that item?
Is that a reappointment? Is she already on the board?
She
or
is.
it a new appointment?
It is a good question. That is a new appointment. She's not currently on the board. I've known Jennifer personally for probably about 39 years because I think we went to kindergarten together and went through high school. So she is well trained in that field, and I think she'd be a good addition to.
Whose
the
place
board.
is she taking?
I do not know.
No,
I don't
okay.
remember. Someone that was, I
Somebody
think they
stepped down.
resigned or they rolled off. Yeah, there was no issues going on there. It was just either a roll off or a resignation.
Okay.
Any other questions? Any objection to placing that item on the agenda?
No objection.
All right. Item number 2 is a request to approve resolution to extend the temporary polling place change in Cottonwood for the November 5th general election. Judge Davenport, is he? Yep, there he is. I didn't see you. I'm sorry. I don't know if you want to talk about this or not.
Good morning. As you're aware, there was a tornado in Cottonwood in January, and we came to you and request a temporary move for the March 5th primary election. We weren't sure whether that facility would be remodeled and repaired by the general election in November. So we didn't include that in that request. Over the last several months, they have begun the process of repairing that facility, but it is not completed, and it won't be by November 5th. So we're requesting that we continue to use for this cycle Calvary Baptist Church on Metcalf Street, which is just 1.2 miles to the north of the previous location of the community room. The church has agreed to that. They have provided us that documentation. Pastor Tommy White and the minister of music, Kenny Jackson, and the deacons all there have been very supportive and encouraging to allow us to use that. The parking is appropriate, the facility is appropriate, and we think that would be a good alternative voting location for the citizens of Cottonwood. So we would request that.
Any questions for the judge?
Thank you.
I'll say this. I mean, you don't have to stand there if you don't want to, but you've always done an outstanding job. I know a lot of people don't know this, but the judge worries tremendously over finding a polling location that will be conducive to the most people showing up to vote. And I just want to say, I appreciate that. I know you this sounds like an easy thing to do. We just yay and we move on, but you and your staff put a tremendous amount of effort in this.
Thank you. It starts with, Heather, my chief clerk, all down to Angie and my elections manager. And so a lot of time and efforts put into this. To have it on your radar, and you probably are aware of this, I've got a couple of other issues that are going to be a fairly serious concern by 26. The Civic Center will not be there. The Farm Center is an issue. So those are two other issues on the radar that I'll have to address. And those are significantly sized precincts that I'll need to address. And there's no obvious alternative that's immediately out there. So we're working hard on that already, 2 years ahead of time, trying to address that. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Judge. Any further discussion?
No, sir.
Any objection to placing this item on the agenda?
No, Judge.
Item number 3 is a request to adopt resolution authorizing participation in the ACCA Workers' Compensation Self-Insurance Fund through September 30th, 2027. Mr. Chief Administrative Officer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you gentlemen may recall, workers' comp insurance is a fairly significant expenditure for the county. The FY25 budget is just shy of $560,000. But our participation in the ACCA program provides us 2 benefits to that. Not only is the coverage there, which is important, but just let me point out also that the job classifications that the individual associates in the county are placed is not up to the ACCA. It is a national recognized, categorized position that they fall into for their rate structure for workers' comp. But I will tell you that our participation in the plan has, this past year, we have received $120,000 back from this program. So although the contribution that we make is substantial, the net contribution is a little bit more tolerable. Part of that money that comes back is through the dividend. By that I mean lesser claims than are anticipated actuarially, so that we get sort of a refund of that dividend. And also because of our long-term participation in this program, we get a longevity bonus, which this past year it was just under $56,000 by itself. So I would ask respectfully that the commission consider adopting this resolution to participate for the next 3 years in the ACCA Workman's Comp Self-Insured Fund.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for the Chief Administrative Officer? Any objection to placing this item on the agenda?
No objection.
Okay. Item number 4 is a request to approve request for information for management of the Houston County Farm Center Arena. So I spoke to, just a quick update, I spoke to Andy Goslin, who's the architect that we hired for that project, and we're hoping that we can move forward on that pretty soon on bidding out the remainder of the work. There was a little bit of a slowdown with ALDOT. They had some concerns initially. I think we resolved those. They wanted us to kind of change the access, the way that you access the property. I think we've got that worked out. I think the city of Dothan is now reviewing the plans. They have to approve them. We expect that to happen pretty soon. There may be, you never really know with these sort of things. There may be another snag. But anyway, once the city of Dothan approves the plans, I believe we will be ready to bid this project out. So we're getting closer. We're still a long ways away, but we're getting closer to that arena being ready for the public to use. And I know that it's been the goal, I think, of all of the commission to not have to manage this facility ourselves. We would prefer for a third party to manage this facility, either a company or a person or a group of people. And so this RFI, if it's approved Monday, you have the document in your packet. It kind of sets out some loose expectations. It's not an RFP. We're not going to sign a contract with somebody that necessarily responds to this, but it's just a way to kind of get this out there. So, hey, this is what we're interested in doing. This is kind of what we're thinking. help us, figure this out, because we are not facility management people, nor do we want to be in that business. So, and obviously, what you see in the goal, in some of the goals that we lay out here, we would prefer this to, we prefer to get some money back from it. If we can break even and cover the expenses and make this property an asset for the community, that's kind of, that's a win for us. So any questions on this item, or any questions on any of the particulars in the RFI that will be published if this is approved on Monday?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Any objection to placing this item on the agenda for Monday?
No objection.
Okay. Item number 5 is a request to approve interlocal agreement between the City of Dothan and Houston County for the 2024 Burn Justice Assistant Grant Program Award. Major Rafferty, I think this is normal and customary. I don't know if there's going to be any questions on this. Do you have any comments you wish to make?
It's just the annual grant review.
Okay. Any questions? Any objection to placing this item on the agenda?
No objection.
Okay. Item number 6 is a request to adopt resolution regarding fire protection service fees withholding from certain volunteer fire departments. So I want to ask the Volunteer Firefighter Association representatives to come up. Mayor, if you want to come up and kind of tell us why we're considering this and what has transpired and what the request really means.
Yes, sir. Whenever I took over in June of last year, we found 6 departments that wasn't meeting the qualifications of 501c3, and we got all of those up but one that are compliant now. Help for covering some of those expenses with the Parsons Street to get the finances in order. But we've got one department in Southeast Houston County that still has not got their 501c up to date. We did the Volunteer Fire Association voted a couple months ago to send them into the State Forestry for decertification. State Forestry showed up last week. They do meet the minimum requirements to be a volunteer fire department in the state of Alabama. You should be getting an email. I got an email on Monday. Y'all supposed to get a letter here this week. It says they do meet the minimum requirements to be a volunteer fire department. But they've been back and forth. We're gonna change our name. We're gonna stay what we are. And so we're holding for it right at $47,000 of fire fee and tobacco tax. It's sitting in the funds that the association has. And what we're asking is to take that money and split it up between the departments that meet the requirements. Now we're trying to make them, they got about $42,000 in the bank. They don't meet the requirements. So we sit here and hold this money forever, trying to get them legal. And that's what we're saying is they don't meet the minimum requirements, especially for the fire fee, because the fire fee says you gotta be a 7X ISO rating. They've been a 10 since 2019. And there's no, they have tried to get ISO to come. ISO was trying to contact them every February. They've been unable to get a response back from them. So we're trying to hurt them. We're just trying to, we won't put this money to use in the county.
Yeah, so just sitting there. I know the other departments have a tremendous need, and if you look at our law, and I don't believe I have a copy with me, but the law states that to be eligible for the fire fee, you have to have that, what do you call that, 7/?
It says 7/9 on the actual legislation.
But it's been
actually
changed.
Change your numbers to 7/7X.
Yeah.
Since that was written.
So 7/7X is the equivalent of the 7/9, I guess. Okay. So they don't meet those requirements, which are spelled out in the law, and then on the fire fee side, yeah.
Which y'all supposed to pass in 2018, so they had to meet the back tax, and that's my only question, is I want to make sure that we're saying what y'all passed in 2018 is legitimate, and that we can withhold the fact that the tobacco tax, the tobacco tax law is not necessarily spelled out, you gotta get a
Yeah, we legally cannot give money to a private entity. If you're not a nonprofit, then you're a private entity. So, and I know we didn't know that some of these volunteer fire departments were not nonprofits for years. I think in 2019, we kind of think 2018. Yeah.
And once we took over, we started holding money. We had money until, like I said, this is the one we're still holding money on. And honestly, I don't have no idea. I'm saying at least a minimum of a year before take to get an ISO rating. And they're depending on Parsons Group to get all their paperwork. Levi says he thinks he's got a majority of it, but he don't know that he's got everything they need to get the 501c3.
Any questions?
I do. The two things that they need is ISO and the 503
501c3. Yes, sir.
completed. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And I know
Like
they,
said, Parsons is on, working on a 501c3. The ISO is gonna be on them. Contact the guy, gave him the information, same guy that came here and done the departments in July. But the thing is, they gotta go back a year and have training records, to be able to prove training records, they gotta have pump tests, they gotta have all these things to get that to a center. They can call them, but they're not gonna get any lower. So to be able to meet that 7, they've had to have documentation to prove they can have meetings, training, and a lot of stuff.
and they're going through all that right now, because I talked to the chief the other day. Okay, it's just a process.
It just it takes time, you know. And like I said, we did discuss in our meeting, if something comes up, and they run out of money, is association willing to help them? Thing is that if they get their 501c3 up, we can help them. Make gas bills and minimum stuff, but giving them money and then not meeting the requirements, we just can't.
Yeah, the commission and y'all, and I appreciate y'all holding each other accountable. There has to be accountability all the way around, but if you have an entity like this and they're not being held accountable, you know, for not meeting the requirements, well, then nobody's going to meet the requirements. So we have to, I mean, it's just my opinion that we have to hold each other accountable. It's unfortunate that we're kind of here. And I know that there's a lot of issues with volunteer in general, just a lot of
Like,
issues.
this been going on for a year and a half, we pushed it off, we talked about it multiple times, like I said, me and Tracy's been there. We're not trying to hurt them, but we can't do anything illegal. And I think this money would be better put forward to the other departments and not leave it sitting in the bank.
Well, and it'd also be upfront about all this. 18 months ago, there were 6 departments that was not a 501(c)(3). And the rest of them have really worked really hard on meeting the requirements to become 503 on it. And I don't think they want to take a chance of losing that status anymore because it's too difficult to get. They've done a tremendous job on getting where they need to be at.
Yeah.
And they just had Lucy just had some unfortunate situations come up that they're not there, to say the least.
Any other questions? Jason, okay. Any other comments? Any objection to placing this item on the agenda for Monday?
No objection.
Thank you, Jason. Item number 7 is a request to adopt resolution regarding the transfer of real property to the city of Dothan. Road and Bridge.
This is the industrial road that we're doing out on Hodgesville Road, we're through that project, so it's transferring it from Houston County.
This has been a big project. I know y'all are proud to be done with it, move on to other stuff. Any questions for the county engineer? Any objection to placing this item on the agenda?
No objection.
Okay. Item number 8 is a request to approve replat of Chase Ridge subdivision phase 5.
This is subdivision out of coverage. The developer of the subdivision developed it. Stormwater builders decided to buy a bunch of lots. The lots were probably quite as deep as they would like, so they're just replatting them. The lots a little bigger.
Gotcha.
On the back of the spot line. So that's not changing anything of our section now.
Gotcha. Any questions for the assistant county engineer?
No, sir.
Any objection to placing this item on the agenda?
No objection.
Item number 9 is a request to sell the following items on gov deals: a 2004 Ford F-150, 2 2012 Chevrolet 1500s, a 2005 Chevrolet 1500, a 2001 Dodge Ram 3500, all of which are from Road and Bridge. Any questions on this item?
No, sir.
Any objection to placing this item on the agenda?
No, sir.
Good. Curtis is not here. There's no further business, so I will entertain a motion from somebody to adjourn. Thank you. We are adjourned.
I was waiting.